It's back where it belongs, right here, right by the club shop, guys. The clock with the golden cockerel. It is massive. It's actually bigger than I remembered it, but it's back where it belongs. Listen, I love the fact that it's back here. It's quite high up. I mean, without my Cuban heels, I'm 5'10" and still quite high up. So for those of you who are worried that it's a bit too low, it isn't. It is way up there. So for those of you perhaps are worried that it could be vandalized, there's no need. But it is shiny and is everything. It's beautiful to have it back. It has a feel of pleasing fans a little bit, but having it there, just the timing of it is all a bit funny. But nonetheless, I'm gonna forget all those negative thoughts and actually enjoy the fact that it is back, and it looks awesome, guys. It truly does. I'm sure you guys will get to see it for yourselves when you get here. But let's get this show on the road. Good morning, Tottenham away. Let's go. Morning and good morning to you. Welcome to this Good Morning Tottenham Away Thursday episode outside the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium today. Hadn't been down there, guys, since the last home game for the Brentford, when we had Brentford at home, and well, you remember my thoughts about that game, but we move on from there. The fixtures are out, guys. We have Brentford away, first game of the season on 13th of August, and the first home game will be on 19th of August versus Manchester United, guys. Them lot down the road get Nottingham Forest at home. We get our first home game will be the following week after that against Man United. Honestly, couldn't make up. When you've got Tottenham away, I hear you guys say, well, they will be right here at the White Hart Lane Stadium, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, on the 23rd of September. We will be playing them at the Hemorrhoids on the 27th of April. So just looking at when we got Luton away on the 7th of October, Chelsea at home on the 4th of November. Just scrolling through some of the other games. Man City away, December the 2nd. Listen, I tell you what, that December, I'm looking at the fixtures. December, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games, 7 league games scheduled in 1 month. That's that's incredible, guys. But anyway, we will have time to discuss those fixtures in due course. Sonny spoke to the Korean media. He's had his surgery. It was a minor surgery, but hopefully shouldn't be keeping him out too long. Well, he's going to be playing for South Korea, incredibly enough. Hopefully he sits those games out, allowing him to fully recuperate, because this guy clearly wasn't himself last season, and he has spoken about it. And he said, I hesitate in telling this publicly, but I actually struggled significantly during the season. I played 8-9 months while enduring pain, but I ended up having to take surgery now. It may explain why Son wasn't quite to the level, guys. It does, and the amount of criticism he took for it as well. But he stays silent. That only now speaking out, and now we get a bit more understanding in regards to his situation. David Raya, again, no updates as yet. It looks like personal details, his personal. Personal like wages and stuff like that, is all the details that he's got sorted. It's just now a case of getting Brentford to lower their price at 40 million asking price. Spurs are not going to pay that for someone who's contract running down the following season. So personal details are done and dusted. We've got the agreement with the player. It's just a question of now having the agreement with the club. They've already signed a goalkeeper, as I mentioned in the previous videos. It's just a question now sorting the two clubs, getting a deal done, and the player could hopefully sign for Spurs in due course. Maddison, no updates there in regards to Maddison. He's got obviously Newcastle that are after him. We're not going to go into a bidding war with Newcastle. We know that they can outdo us on putting the money spending the money that we clearly won't. But it's true that Tottenham Hotspur appreciate Chelsea midfielder Conor Gallagher. Spurs head coach Ange Postecoglou appreciates Gallagher's ability as a player. Chelsea would sell for a good proposal. He could absolutely be the second choice, really and truly, for a young, hungry player. We know he's a quality player. We've seen him do it at Crystal Palace in previously. So he would be an added. Listen, as a player, he's an exciting player, and one I wouldn't personally mind having him at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. You guys, let me know your thoughts on that. And last but not least, guys, this is the big news, what's been spoken about. Tottenham Hotspur have informed star striker Harry Kane that he will not be sold this summer, according to 90 Minutes. The speculation over Kane's future shows no sign of dissipating, with the likes of Man United, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, and more recently PSG credited with an interest in the Spurs star. However, Daniel Levy's stance on the matter has seemingly not wavered, with multiple outlets reports over recent weeks that the Tottenham chairman is expected to inform all interested clubs that the striker is not for sale. Journalist Ben Jacobs told the United Star channel just a couple of days ago that Levy could decide to keep Kane at the club despite his current contract situation, in the hope that the England captain will fall in love with Ange Postecoglou's management. Bit far-fetched, I agree, guys. If 90 Minutes' latest updates to be believed, the centre-forward has not been left in any doubt regarding the club's summer plans. The publication suggests that Kane's entourage have been told that the Tottenham hierarchy is in no certain terms that he will not be allowed to leave. Kane continues to prove his remarkable goal-scoring ability after season, and he's now scored 280 goals in 435 appearances in all competitions for Spurs. He is 47 goals shy of Alan Shearer's Premier League scoring record of 260. Guys, I've read what many have to say. They're calling Kane a loser, or why doesn't he put in the transfer request in? God, let's talk about that. Kane puts a transfer request in. Daniel Levy looks at that transfer request and turns it down, said you're not going anywhere till the following season. Now he has publicly, by this point, if he does put a transfer request in, it will be public news, okay, that he's put it through. Daniel Levy turns it down. Where does that leave Kane for the next season in front of the Spurs fans? It will leave him in the absolute mud. It will be completely he has to think about all scenarios, and having that taste as a fan, knowing that he's publicly now put a transfer request in, it would leave me hard. It would be a tough situation to live with for him, for us, to support him, knowing that he's put a request in. He ain't gonna tarnish his reputation here. He's not gonna tarnish his reputation with the fans. It already happened a little bit again when Nuno, when he joined us here. Do you remember what happened? And we had to wait weeks before he turned up at Wolves away. It was a weird atmosphere then. Imagine what actually putting a transfer request in, what would do if Daniel Levy weren't to accept it. And it looks like he won't be accepting it. He's not entertaining deals, according to reports. So if Kane leaves, it would have to be a case where the club has decided to accept a fee for him, and he will then move on. We know that Kane wants to move on. I think deep down, I think he knows his time here is done, and he knows he's not going to win any trophies anytime soon here at Spurs. We all know this, but he's not going to come out publicly and say, I want to leave. He's not going to do that. So to call him a loser, to call him, why doesn't he put a transfer request in? Why doesn't he do this? Why doesn't he do that? Why does he have to force the hand when he knows in a year's time he'll be able to choose freely where to go? He will be applauded on the way out of here. We know that. We will all applaud him on the way out. And he could choose calmly the next destination that he chooses to go to. Freely, without having to fight against the club or to go up against Daniel Levy. Because we know that you go up against Daniel Levy as a player, there's only one winner. And that's Levy himself. He'll make him look bad. He knows this. We know this. And you calling him a loser is not going to actually solve anything. We support the guy. If he sees out another season, all better for him, because Postecoglou will get to work with the best striker in the land, if not the world, for another season at least. And maybe, who knows? The probability is more no, of course it is, than yes, that he would like to extend and sign a new contract. But at the moment in time, he's not going to force a move and go against the club, against the fans, if Daniel Levy turns down and says, you're not going anywhere, and he hands out a transfer request. It just doesn't make sense to me. I don't see that happening. The only way Kane will move, if a bid formalises in the excess of whatever Daniel Levy wants for him, and he may accept it, and that's the only way we'll lose Kane. But to expect Kane to put a transfer request is absurd, it's silly, and that conversation should actually stop. And that's, I say this to all Spurs fans that have this thought process. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like, comment, of course. I want to know everything you guys are feeling, what we've spoken about this morning. Big up the clock is that way. Big up the clock for being back. And subscribe, guys. Subscribe to both our channels. As always, forever always. It feels so weird being back here after Brentford. But let's hope. I'll look forward to being back here when the season starts. As always, forever always, live from Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is Come On You Spurs.